What are we going to talk about today? I did that one already. This is a controversial topic. We have a controversial topic today. This video is titled The Truth About Micro Four Thirds. So today I want to talk about one of my favorite kinds of cameras, which is a Micro Four Thirds camera. I'm shooting this video right now that you're watching on a Micro Four Thirds camera. It's a Lumix G7. It's a great camera, very affordable, wonderful piece of equipment. And there's this sort of mentality on the internet that Micro Four Thirds cameras are beginner cameras or inferior cameras, or you have to upgrade to a better camera later or something like that. And I don't think that's true at all. I've taken multiple cameras and compared them, the actual image quality, and zoomed in and then did the pixel peeping that is required between a couple of different aps-c size sensors and my Micro Four Thirds sensor cameras. And honestly, yes, there are a few differences, but ultimately when you just look at the images, whether you're consuming them on Instagram or on the web somewhere, or even small images in print, you're just not going to notice that big of a difference between the two. It's true that larger sensors have better dynamic range, and you can see that in the photographs when you compare them. You can sometimes see better color information, or more grades of tones and things like that. And I will readily admit that the extra resolution and colors from larger sensors is impressive, and I shoot with those cameras because I like that, and I like that look, and I enjoy using them. But you have to pick the right camera for the right job, and sometimes the right camera is a Micro Four Thirds camera. They're great for video. I love this camera. The autofocus is pretty good. The 4K quality is awesome. It's incredibly light. It'll shoot for, I think, half an hour at a time. It's got a flip screen, the whole 9 yards. It's like a total package. It's a great camera. And if you happen to have this camera with you and you want to take some photographs, you can get some really great quality. And I've pushed the shadows quite a bit from images out of this camera. I've shot a lot of images with this camera. And overall, I've really enjoyed using it. And I think this idea that one sensor technology is, just fundamentally not good enough for you to use compared to another is sort of ridiculous. Because you can get great images with your cell phone if you have enough light and you're in the right position and you know how to compose a photograph. With that said, when I go to take, landscape photos, or I'm just going to bring a camera along with me in my car somewhere, or somewhere where I'm not hiking and I don't need lightweight equipment, I take a heavier, larger camera with a larger sensor. But a lot of times, if I'm going to go up a mountain 5,000 feet and I'm going to have to hike up all that way, I want this little teeny camera, this little guy right here, because it's going to be a lot lighter on my back and just easier to carry. And so for that purpose, it works really well. It's my primary camera for video, and I've even done a lot of some action shooting with it because the autofocus on it is exceptional as well. Lastly, there are professional photographers who use Micro Four Thirds cameras and they sell those images to clients. That's a real thing that people do. So the idea that you can't do that with a Micro Four Thirds camera is ridiculous. If you want to go shoot a lot of low light stuff, it's not great for that. I can't really push this camera beyond I like to stick at 1600 ISO. 3200 is the absolute max for this camera. In my opinion, for the kinds of images that I like, it just gets too grainy, and the quality and low light of these cameras, it's not the best. So it's not the right tool for that sort of thing. But like I said, daylight action shooting, yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good tool for that. Keep in mind, think about what you're going to do, about what kinds of photographs you want to take, and then buy a camera that is appropriate for you. And maybe your budget is a factor too. And if a Micro Four Thirds camera is the camera that you can afford and it will, take care of shooting most of the kinds of things that you want to shoot, then get one of those and don't listen to the internet people. who tell you you have to have the best and the most expensive thing. That's not a good way to live your life.